The NFL draft is 50 days away from today, and free agency kicks off 7 days away from today. The new league year begins. Listen, the 49ers got some moves to make. There's going to be some restructurings. There's going to be some extensions. There's going to be some free agents. The question is, are they going to make a splash or just a tiny ripple? Let's talk about it right here on the WayneBreezie Show. Stick around, baby.
So bright that we shine at. All we do is deny it. Ready go that is finest. So faithful to the bay. I be sipping gold bar whiskey on the rocks, and a 24 karat gold on a watch. My 7-1 Chevy be tipping non-stop, sounding like Trent Williams on the block. So you know we can't stop, we be banging through your speakers. WayneBreezie on the field or in the bleachers. You can tune into my show and I'm a teacher. WayneBreezie, the 4-9 preacher. We so bright that we shine at.
What's going on, faithful? There should be no crunchies on today. Hope the crunchies are slowly going away. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the WayneBreezie Show. The offseason is officially here, and there's just going to be some things that we have to weather the storm. What the San Francisco 49ers are going to do to improve their team is mostly important. They have to figure out a way to get over the hump. Let's give a quick shout out to all the Breezy Bunch crew members that's in the building. Jax Knox was first in the building. Where's the sound? Sound the alarm. Where's the alarm? Foghorn. Shout out to Jax. He says, hey, Wayne, have a great show. Have a great show. I like that. Boss, what's going on? What's poppin', Niner fam? F a splish or a splash. We need to... You think we need to make a monumental move? I like that, boss. I didn't know what you I didn't pre-read what you wrote, but a belly flop sounds good. Peachy's in the building. Thank you for tuning in to the WayneBreezie Show. Smash that like button, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. It's super important. You already know what time it does. If you're new to the stream, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew, go ahead and click that join button right away. Hit the clicker, all right, for the low. What's going on, man? Manly, what's good, baby? What's good, man? What's going on? I hope you're feeling good. I know it's not much to really get into, but listen, free agency is literally a week away. That's super important. Nick Knight says, let's go with the hashtag BB. The Breezy Bunch crew's in the building. The one and only Miss Debbie's in the building. Good morning, Wayne, on this wonderful Wednesday. Blessing to everyone in the chat. Hit that like button, y'all. Black Orchid, what's going on? Hey, Wayne, Peachy, and Red Jet. Is she even in this chat? But she giving her a prophetic hello right now. What's going on, man? She should be joining us really soon. Thank you for that. Good morning, Breezy from Tanisha and the Faithfuls all the way from the 310. Maybe you want to do a little walk. What's going on, Miss Patricia in the building? Patricia Cross. Good morning, Niner fans over from the Facebook crew. My brother from another mother, Lake City's in the building. What's good, baby? Dre, you out working today, bro? What's going on, fam? What's good, man? Maybe you get to call in today. It'd be pretty cool to hear from you, dog. It'd be really cool to hear from you, actually. Haven't heard from you in a minute. But listen, I'm excited because the Niners got to figure out what they need to do, not to just get back to the Super Bowl, but to get over the hump. And the first step in process they got to get all their coaches, right? And so we already know that the Niners are filling their coaching spots. I think there's still some vacancies left on the 49ers and the 49ers front office. There's some coaches that need to be filled and things like that. But listen, once that news breaks, we promise we'll give it to you. I'll bring it to you, give it to you raw, right? Now, it's free agent time because there's nothing that they can do really in this draft until they figure out how they're going to handle free agency. And I know it is a mathematical nightmare for the 49ers. We talked about the cap. We know that the cap went up. The Niners got like an extra $30 million, which literally is not even enough to extend a Brandon Aiyuk. It's just ridiculously crazy. They got 22 players that are going to be leaving for free agency, which is ridiculously crazy. So the Niners got some things that they want to do, and they got to figure out how they're going to even attack this upcoming 2024 free agency. So there's a lot of things that the front office, John Lynch, Parag Marate, all those guys, they're going to have to figure out. I think they're going to do their due diligence in the draft. But when we get closer to the draft, once we get through at least the first week or so of free agency, when we make either the big splash or a little tiny ripple, whatever it is we choose to do that first week of free agency, I think that's when we can really start saying, all right, Now we know how we're going to probably look and try to approach the draft, depending on what we do in free agency. So on today's episode, I'm going to give you some free agents, all right? And we're gonna get into more depth with this on No Harm, No Foul. Mike and I got a nice little exercise that we're going to do, but I'm going to just throw some names out there. Now, what I'm going to do for the Patreon members is I'm going to give you my top three, depending in the areas of the need of 49ers, right? So I'm going to give you my top three free agents I think the 49ers need to go out there and at least make the phone call to. But on today's episode, I just want to put some names out there just to wet the whistle a little bit. And then we're going to open up the phone lines, and you can kind of tell us how you feel they're going to approach free agency, all right? And so, Phil, you'll be able to jump on the show with your boy Breezy, not the phone lines, but you'll be able to jump on the live show and give your take, man. Get your take off, you know what I'm saying? So let's have some fun with this, all right? And we're talking free agents. Now, on yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, the tag came to an end. The transition tag, the franchise tag came to an end. The NFL and the teams decided to tag several players. Let's see if I got my list. I had a list of players at one point in life. But this frees up guys, which is really cool for the San Francisco 49ers. All right, here are the teams that franchise tag players. You got the Baltimore Ravens with my man Justin Matabuki, all right, defensive tackle for the Ravens. He's going to get paid in at least this year in that $24 million range. Carolina Panthers, Brian Burns. He's going to get paid. He wants to get paid at least $30 million, but right now he's on the tag for about 20-something million. Chicago Bears tag Jalen Johnson, the cornerback. He's going to get paid in, I think, the $18 million. T. Higgins from the Cincinnati Bengals, wide receiver. We got two receivers on this list. Interesting. Michael Pittman from the Indianapolis Colts. Edge rusher or outside linebacker Josh Allen from the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is going to be fun to watch which person is going to get paid first. Is it going to be Brian Burns that has been tagged, or is it going to be Josh Allen that has been tagged? Now, I think they're going to even wait to see, especially for Matabuki. They're going to wait. He's going to wait for Chris Jones. It's going to be crazy. I can tell you. And none of these guys are 49ers, but I'll tell you what they have to do with the 49ers. You got Kansas City Chiefs, L'Jarius Sneed, cornerback, all-pro, tag. He might get traded. I don't know what's going to go down with him. And then Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they tagged, exclusive tagged Antoine Whitfield, their safety. So he's going to get paid at least for the 1 year. Now, these tags are what the teams are on the books for the upcoming season, 2024 season. Most teams are going to be looking to do some type of extension and get a deal done. That's why most players hate the tag, right? But they know at least if they play for this season, they're going to get paid that one year's worth of salary. All right. Now there's a transition tag going on for Kyle Duggar, the safety out of New England. They're trying to work out a deal to get him back there. But when they tagged Kyle Duggar, it became very clear and interesting what the Patriots are going to do as far as free agents, because if they're going to tag him, I'm curious to see if they're going to try to bring some guys back, because I got a couple of Patriots that I think belong as 49ers, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Listen, Brock Purdy came out. He had a message. He wanted to let everybody in the world know, and I don't think he was just talking to his teammates and things like that. I think he was talking to the faithful as well. I think he was talking to the faithful, and on his Instagram, he posted a little message for everybody out there, and it specifically says, "Won together and lost together." Now, immediately, this junk threw me into the depths of one of my favorite movies of all time. Words are a little bit different, but this is what I got from it. We roll together, we die together, we bad boys for life. I don't know if y'all got that same connotation from the Brock Purdy tweet, Instagram, or whatever it is you want to call it, but that's what I was getting. He says, I read it again, won together, lost together, did it with my bros. Kind of sounds like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Roll together, die together. Bad boys for life. He says, keep the faith, though. That's the message on keeping the faith. I see my man Kylie wants to know, when is the deadline to use the tender? All right, let's see if we can look that up. All right. Deadline for NFL tenders. And I think they all come into play around the free agent time, right? Deadline to use the NFL tender. I don't know that off the top of my head. All right. Oh. So I'm looking. Let's see. Tenders pertain to qualifying offers, blah, 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 blah. Restricted free agent, blah, 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 blah. They could talk to. I don't think there's a specific deadline at some point. I would think. I don't have the deadline. I don't see a deadline is what I'm trying to say. But I know that there's a deadline. Right now, the deadline for tenders isn't popping up, but I'm sure that there's a deadline because the Niners, if Jauan Jennings is he enters free agency. Guys, you got to remember, he's a restricted free agent. You know what I'm saying? Fernando, what's going on out there? And he's a restricted free agent. And that means that the Niners have the ability to match the offer, but they're placing a tender. The Niners did place a second round tender on him, right? If I'm not mistaken, I thought that was the news that came out. That was what I was hoping that they did. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but if they placed a second round tender on him, that sounds like the Niners don't really want to move on from Jauan Jennings. He won't cost the team much money for this upcoming season, and that can tell me right there, like, I don't think a team is going to be willing to give up a second round pick. That's what the tender would be. The Niners are like, oh, you want him, no problem, you can have him, but you got to give us back a second round pick. If that's the tender, I believe that's the tender. So we'll see what happens. But listen, I've been scouting as of lately, and there's no disrespect. But if Jauan Jennings isn't retained, if his rights aren't retained by the San Francisco 49ers, there's a couple of kids in this draft that you can go out and get. Now, I'm not saying that they'll be Jauan Jennings, but they will be who they are. I'll put a name out there right now for you guys to go out because I know you guys want to go watch film. I know you got at least the highlights. Check out Johnny Wilson, 6'6" wide receiver from Florida State University, ran a 4.52 in the 40. The dude has like almost an 85-inch wingspan. Almost an 85-inch. It's 84 and a half to be exact. Guys, that's like two of me stretching out wide. Like, that's ridiculous. All I'm saying is he ran a 4.52. Jauan Jennings was like a 4.7, 4.8, 4.8. He was slow. But you could put this big kid in the slot. My brother Adam is on the show. Listen, Adam is the Boston Celtics connoisseur. Like, he just has Celtics basketball and NBA basketball down pack. I mean, down to the pin downs, down to the ghost screens, down to just stuff I ain't never heard of in my entire life. Make sure you check out his podcast, Adam NBA Taylor. Shout out to my brother over there. He says, who's Jauan Jennings? And you're not wrong for spelling the name that way, even though that's not how his mommy and daddy spelled it, but it's all good. I mean, the phonetic spelling is there. Jauan Jennings is one of the toughest, best blocking, solid hands, especially on third down wide receivers in the NFL, who is a restricted free agent from the San Francisco 49ers, meaning that he's a free agent, but the 49ers can place a tender on him and then match. They own the rights, and they can match the deal that he gets from another team. So that's who Jauan Jennings is. He was actually on point of becoming the Super Bowl MVP. God dang it. He was about to be Super Bowl MVP until Patrick Mahomes happened. That's who Jauan Jennings. So go back and watch the Super Bowl. Look up number 15, Adam, and you'll see who Jauan Jennings is, man. Yeah, gotta be Jax. He's gotta be the best third down wide receiver in the league. It's amazing how they utilize him. But again, like I said, there's some guys in the draft that might match that same profile, a little bit taller than Jauan Jennings. But the wingspan, that means his catch radius is ridiculous. So that means Brock Purdy can throw it all the way to the ground. He can throw it all the way up in the air next to Jesus. And this dude, Johnny Wilson, could 9 times out of 10 come down with the pass. Just saying, ain't a little faster. It's a little faster. Doesn't have to run routes. Put his big ass in the slot. Don't care about a route. Get in the slot. Get me some yak after the catch. 4.52 speed. I think you'll get some yak after the catch. Adam, it's all good, bro. I'm just messing with you. Look, Sentinel Football Channel said, Brock could throw it up and be like, I'm telling you, I think the Niners address things a little bit differently. I feel like the team is built. I feel like there's not much, You know, my man said we got to do a big old belly flop in free agent. I feel like there isn't one key piece that they particularly like can go after that's going to make this team that much different. But if they can start, it's all about the fine tuning. It's all about the fine tuning. Terrence, what's going on, baby? It's all about the fine tuning, bro. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, how can you fine tune and add? We got some free agent wide receivers that are going to become free agents. We can go and add a couple of other free agent wide receivers. I'm not going to really talk about those today. We'll probably do that on No Harm, No Foul. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is Brock can kind of, if you can get him some other type of weapons, or you just kind of throw the ball near the wide receiver, that might be good. Now, I don't know where the Niners would get him. He's like projected to go maybe late second, early third. Guys, when the draft happens, it all depends on what positions have a run, and that's what it comes down to. So there could be 1 to 2 wide receivers taken in the first round, maybe even 3. I would go with 3 wideouts possibly taken in the first round, and then after that, the wideouts might go on pause. So there's going to be really good talent at the wide receiver position in every single round of this upcoming draft. We'll get into some draft talk. But listen, I want to get back to Brock Purdy because this is a kid, when you watch the shows, maybe you guys don't really know where I'm going with Brock. I am grateful for Brock Purdy. I'm happy that Brock Purdy is the 49ers quarterback. I'm hoping that the 49ers believe in him as much as we believe in him and see him as the franchise quarterback. Like, I'm hoping that Brock gets the opportunity in his 3rd season, but really his entering his 2nd full season of being a starting quarterback in this league. I think that's going to speak volumes. I think Brock Purdy is a leader in the locker room. I think the players not only look up to him, but are willing to run through a wall for him. I think Brock Purdy is that dude. He still remains the it for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not kicking any shade toward Brock Purdy. I don't care how I don't care if he didn't look the same in the playoffs. I didn't expect him to. I expected the playoffs to be harder. I expected game planning for Brock and the playoffs. That's what you do. The question is, how do you adjust from the game planning and the playoffs when they try to take out your quarterback? And some quarterbacks are going to find ways to make plays. I know y'all watched that damn game. I know everybody and their mama sat there and said, damn, we are holding it down when it comes to freaking Patrick Mahomes. He looked normal. He don't look like Patrick Mahomes until he didn't, until he hit him with the Colin Kaepernick play. You know what I mean? Until the Colin Kaepernick play. Hold on one second. Put it on the black. Until the Colin Kaepernick play. You know what I'm saying? So when he seen him on that Colin Kaepernick play, I was like, oh, shoot, it's the read option. I ain't seen that since 2013, 14, 12. I was shook. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Patrick Mahomes made some plays. Brock Purdy, so I wanted to give him some praise because Brock Purdy, man, he's a winning quarterback in the NFL. And he's never going to get the fanfare or the attention that he deserves. And Kylie, can I pull your message up, bro? I know people be like, yo, he ain't even a member. It don't matter. He my brother. Kylie says we wouldn't have beaten Green Bay or Detroit without Brock. Kylie, that's why I scratch my head and I have to question the head coach. This is why I scratch my head. Kansas City didn't do much, if anything, different than what Green Bay and Detroit were trying to do to the San Francisco 49ers. Matter of fact, they had the leads. That's the only thing that was different. The only thing that was different was that they had massive leads. You know what? That's probably what happened. The 49ers were dominating this game, even though it didn't look like they were dominating in this game. But they were dominating in this game, fam. Possibly that came back and bit them in the Rudy and the Patootie. That's the only thing I can think of. Because Kylie, Brock put the team on his back in them games, and he figured out a way to win. In this particular game, it wasn't that he didn't put the team on his back and try to figure out a way to win. It's just that everybody was just out of sync. The offense was out of sync. The defense was in sync until they were out of sync. And then the offense and defense couldn't get in sync because the special teams was out of sync. It was just a lot of out of sync stuff. And we left too many opportunities on the football field. I just don't think it had to do with Brock. All I'm saying is when Brock Purdy comes out and he puts out a message, he doesn't put out too many of them. And most of them, to me, in my opinion, are things you need to sit and listen to Brock. Brock is a God-fearing person. He is not afraid to talk about his faith. He's not afraid to mention that. I love that about him, right? Stay radical for Christ. That's my dude. But when he says, won together, lost together, did it with my boys, keep the faith. So what I'm going to ask everybody out there to do is keep the faith. You don't have to like Brock, but you got to respect him. All right? Try to find a way to respect the quarterback of your team. At the end of the day, he's the quarterback of your team. I know Mike and I did a show on No Harm, No Foul last night, and we were talking about bringing in Russell Wilson, but I think the message that we were trying to portray just flew over everybody's head. Can I just recap it real quick? Russell Wilson is going to cost a team the league minimum. Does anybody out there know what the league minimum for the quarterback is? Don't worry, I'll tell you. It's $1.2 million. That means Russ is going to go to a team to where they don't have to offer him much, and he's going to contend for a championship. Well, why not bring him here? Whether he plays or not, that doesn't matter. But when you rather have a guy like a Russell Wilson in the quarterback room, it does a bunch of stuff. We're asking Brock to be this Superman without a mentor. Patrick Mahomes had a mentor. Patrick Mahomes had a guy that knew how to win football games to kind of school him. We had Jimmy Garoppolo. There ain't no way in the world y'all telling me Jimmy Garoppolo was a mentor. All I'm saying is you could bring in Russell Wilson. He'll cost the team on the cap no more than whatever. You can probably even sweeten the deal and pay him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Pay him a little bit more, sweeten the deal, make sure he comes here. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is where Russell Wilson is going to go, and you guys are going to hate me. He's going to go to Minnesota. They're going to pay him probably $3 million. He's still going to get his $9 million from Denver, right? So that's what's $3 million. That's $42 million he'll get this year, and he's going to be throwing to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and I wouldn't be surprised since it's a cheap deal for a quarterback. Wouldn't be surprised they go and get Saquon Barkley. Let that sink in, and guess who we play this year? And guess who we still can't beat? So all we were just saying was, we're not saying that Russell Wilson's coming to San Francisco. We're just saying that the 49ers should sit there and entertain. Make the phone call. It's not gonna cost you much. At the end of the day, guess what? Brock Purdy's the only quarterback on this roster. I'll let that set. And when we start breaking down these free agent quarterbacks, you guys are gonna be mad when we start talking about, because we can't. And Kylie, I agree. Kirk Cousins is better than Russell Wilson right now. But you know who can't afford Kirk Cousins? A lot of teams in the NFL. A lot of them. Maybe the Bears can. They got plenty of cap. You know what I mean? Plenty of cap. You get what I'm saying? All I'm saying is don't, you could disagree with it and that's fine, but at least be open-minded to the simple fact that we still need a backup and a rookie ain't going to do it. A 7th round pick isn't going to do it. So that's all we were trying to bring light. And shout out to the non-subscribers. Like, I thought I was going to have 100 non-subscribers. I think we gained 2 to 3, 4 more subscribers. So I thought y'all were going to be pissed off. You guys weren't. But guys, this team is Brock's team at least for one more season. And I think this season is going to come into fruition because this team is going to only get better. I think Kyle Shanahan behind the scenes is finding ways to fine-tune his offense. He's figuring out how to put the trust back into who's running his defense. This is what we need. Now we just need the right players to fine-tune. You can fine-tune in a couple of ways. Way number one, you can address in the free agency, you can supplement in the free agency, and you can continue to build in the draft. There's not much building the Niners need to do. They just need to improve in a few areas, meaning that damn offensive line. You dig? So that's all I'm trying to say, man. Just, Brock, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for everything that you've done for the San Francisco 49ers. Thank you everything you've done for the faithful, and continue excelling. to your potential, bro. We're rooting for you. We're all in your corner. This is never shade toward Brock Purdy. He's been the best thing we've had since sliced bread, man. And listen, it's okay if you don't like him. It's okay if you feel like he's not the it. That's fine. But we winning games. And we lost the Super Bowl, unfortunately. We'll be back, though. We'll be back. All right, look, I wanted to talk about Deebo Samuel because I know a lot of people are still worried about, Brandon Aiyuk. And, I'm not going, you know what, y'all? I ain't going front. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Let me make this clear. I do not want Brandon Aiyuk traded. I don't want him cut. Matter of fact, let me say it this way. Extend Brandon Aiyuk. Extend Brandon Aiyuk. Period. End of discussion. I mean, look, you can draft wide receivers, you can sign free agent wide receivers, but at the end of the day, none of those dudes are going to do what Brandon Aiyuk does for the San Francisco 49ers. Like, none of them. Like, I don't care who we draft. We could even draft Marvin Harrison. He'll be something in a few years. But we don't throw the ball down the field like that for him to be something on the San Francisco 49ers. And look, getting open in college is one thing. Getting open in the NFL is different. I'm not saying he's not going to be the ish. I'm just saying I don't even think Marvin Harrison would fit on the San Francisco 49ers. We struggled fitting Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo and George Kittle. And all I'm saying is find a way to get this dude back, extended, to San Francisco. He hasn't left, but find a way to get Brandon Aiyuk extended, all right? And here, and Deebo spoke about it, right? And so there's rumors out there about Deebo being traded. There's rumors about Brandon Aiyuk being traded. And I wanted to listen to Deebo Samuel's take on Brandon Aiyuk. This is per Kay Adams on the Up and Adams show. He spoke about a lot of stuff. He talked about being injured in the Super Bowl and things like that. Nobody want to hear that. But what I wanted to hear was how he feel about Brandon Aiyuk, and this lets me know that they are brothers for sure. This ain't no cap talk. This ain't no nah. Because the one thing I know about Deebo, he has zero problems letting you know how he feel about you, and if it was really an issue, he has zero problems letting you know. So I realized that him saying these words, I thought were some pretty good words. I'm hoping you guys can hear this clearly. I do apologize if you can't. I'll do my. I done did some test runs. Everything should be working. So let's listen to Deebo Samuel on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams.
What do you want to say about Brandon Aiyuk? A lot of speculation, like you're saying, a lot of this about his future.
Man, my dog, like the season that he just came off of, and the seasons previous. I mean, if you look at his numbers from when he got to the league and now, like, it's always a different type of leap. And so, man, like I told him, man, I said, hey, man, you put yourself in a position to be where you want to be. For us, he's up for a new deal and things like that. And I just told him, because I've been through it, like, it's not gonna be all fine and dandy like you think it's gonna be, man. You got to stay the course. You done did everything possible that you done did for you to be in a position that you done be in, and just let everything play out.
I think letting BA go would be a huge mistake. A huge mistake.
I love that guy. I don't see him leaving though. I don't see him leaving.
He better not. What do you want to say about Brandon Aiyuk?
I apologize if there was an echo. My apologies, man. I hope you guys were able to hear it. But listen, it sounds like Deebo Samuel is advocating but schooling Brandon Aiyuk at the same time, right? Listen, it's a tough time. You're gonna have to go through this. All that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I went through it. Learn from me. Black out your social media. This is what Deebo was really saying. Do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, at that 25th hour, bring your ass back to San Francisco. I felt like that was what Deebo was kind of like portraying. Like out there, he's putting a good juju out there. I think these two complement one another so well. I want people to stop taking stabs at Deebo at not being a wide receiver. You guys know he's a wide receiver. He might not be the greatest route running wide receiver, but that comes to Kyle Shanahan properly utilizing him, right? Like, you got to use your guys and the skill sets that they have. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be weird how things, you know, like how things happen or whatever like that. But like, Deebo's that dude. He got paid. Brandon Ayuk's going to be that dude. He's going to get paid. And I know it's hard to trust John Lynch, but John Lynch, the one thing he didn't lie about was the simple fact that they like to take care of their own. And this is a guy that they traded up to get. I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? They traded up to get him. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. It is what it is. But I like the simple fact that Deebo Samuel is out there kind of like schooling them, kind of getting them ready, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Brandon Aiyuk is definitely an intricate part to what Kyle Shanahan does. And who knows what, guys, there could be so many factors to why Brandon Aiyuk wasn't utilized. I promise. It could be so many factors. One of it is the factors that's going to be in this contract that's coming up. Aiyuk, that's probably why Aiyuk is pissed. Like, yo, you could have just gave me the ball, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? You could have just gave me the ball. Okay, right? And so, like, that would be so dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I've seen head coaches, you know, when it came to contract seasons, just do some strange things to the players. And Bill Belichick being one of them. I'm just saying, I've seen him. I've seen him do things. I've seen it. I've seen Wes Welker not get the passes so he can make his incentive. And in the Super Bowl, he literally did not catch the ball. Literally did not catch the ball. My man Oscar has something to say. He says, BB, I doubt Shanahan pivots on Deebo being a weapon for this team. The priority for Shanahan is being relevant in this league. He'll sacrifice defense for giving up on his weapons. This is a dope freaking statement, right? Because can you imagine, like, hear me out, if Kyle wasn't an offensive coach, then there's a possibility that he moves on from some of these weapons, right? This is how I feel, Oscar, and I want to know if you agree. I just feel like Kyle Shanahan, when he likes something, it's really hard to let go. He'll store it, he'll save it, he'll put it in a box, he'll do whatever, but he ain't letting it go because Deebo might be like a special player to Kyle Shanahan. He's a weapon, and to me, weapons are special players, right? So it's not about him being the number one wide out or the number one wide back or that. It's not about that. It's about, hey, man, when I call your number, I'm going to get you the ball, need you to do what Deebo do. So, like, that's why I don't see them trading Deebo. Plus, I don't really understand. Can somebody name a team other than Chicago? Can somebody name a team other than Chicago? Because Chicago got some bread. Can somebody name a team that's willing to pay Deebo Samuel $26 million for a year? They'll have to work out a contract extension, obviously. But I don't know. I don't know a team that's going to be willing to take that and do that. You know what I mean? But, hey, it is what it is. So, shout out to Deebo, man, for speaking some good words on his brother Brandon Aiyuk. I like that the wide receivers stay together. I wonder, you know, if I was Kay Adams, you know who I would have asked about? I know he's not a big story. I would have said, hey, man, what are you guys going to do about my man Ray McCloud? You gonna bring him back? You want him back? That would have been dope. Like, see these what do you call them? The insiders. She's an insider now. Shout out to Kay Adams. She blew up. She made it. I'm happy for her. She was supposed to be on my show a long time ago. I still got the tweet. You know what I mean? I could pull it up and be like, yo, you lied, but I ain't gonna do that to you. But I would have asked the question. You know what I mean? I need to be able to talk to these players so I can ask the questions that everybody else is uncomfortable asking. But listen, love Ray McCloud. I just don't think that the San Francisco 49ers are going to find any type of way to bring him back. I don't think they will. I think they can draft a guy. There might be a guy on there that they feel that they already have that could do that. You know what I'm saying? So the Patriots. Robert Bruce says the Patriots can be a team that's willing to pay Deebo $26 million. I don't know how the last time the Patriots signed a 49er wide receiver, he's now a free agent again. I'm talking about Kendrick Bourne. Y'all know I love me some Kendrick Bourne. I love me some Kendrick Bourne. Maybe he'll come back to the Bay. I don't know. It's from the Bay, so maybe he'll be back. But nah, seriously, man, look, it is what it is. When it is what it is. But I like that the wide receiver room is tight. It's a core. It was kind of dope. And you got big brother sticking up for little brother. I think that's pretty cool, man. And so Peachy says the only two wide receivers that matter are Deebo and Aiyuk. I don't think you break it up. I don't think you break away that marriage. You know what I mean? Like, and then you got to factor in Brock. And Brock, he's the glue to their marriage, right? Like he's like, all right, man, I got to feed Deebo. I got to feed Brandon, right? And so like, damn, man, they just look so good together, man. That's a trio that I don't ever want to see, broken away. I'm going to hit up my brother Stats, man. Shout out to Stats. I'm going to hit him up. You know what I'm saying? They do a show together. He's on her show. I'm going to hit him up, but this was before she blew up. So now she probably forgot about little Big Breezy, but it's all good. I don't have a problem reaching out to her, especially calling her out on Twitter. We keep it petty here. That's what we do. I got a couple of things I want to talk about before I bring you guys on. Here are the areas of need for the San Francisco 49ers, whether it's via draft or whether it's the daggone free agency, right? And so, again, we talk about free agency, and free agency is going to come first for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, what I want to do on today's episode for the next couple of minutes is I want to talk about some players outside the organization, not players that they're going to look to bring back. Because if I had to pick 3 to 4 players the 49ers will probably bring back, one would be Chase Young, all right? One will be John Feliciano. I hate to say it, but I think they bring back Sam Darnold. I know people don't like it because nobody want Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson is not better than Sam Darnold. So, yeah. But, yeah. No, I'm just playing. But I think they bring back Sam Darnold. And then I think they either bring back, I'm talking about, they might try to bring back a Cleveland Farrell. They might try to see if they could get him on a deal due to the injury. Or they might move on from him and bring back a linebacker. And the only linebacker I think that the 49ers are willing to bring back is a guy like Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, because the Niners still need their special teams to be on point. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So here are the areas: right tackle, edge, cornerback. Ladies and gentlemen, people are like, cornerback? Hell yeah. Cornerback. All right. Guard, right guard, specifically the right side, linebacker, defensive interior, and I'll specify run stuffer. If you guys play Madden, you got your run stopping defensive tackles and you got your pass rushing. So it's either going to say PR or it's going to say RS. They need to bring in an RS. Give me somebody big, full of Sharman and strong, right up in that middle to help stop that run, stop those gaps, man. Take on those blocks and the linebackers to come in and fill. And then last but not least, they got to address the quarterback position at some point because they only have one quarterback on the roster. All right, so I'm going to give you some names. I'm not going to do a full breakdown. The full breakdown will be on the Patreon. I'm going to break down each player, why I think they should be back. I definitely think they look to bring back Brandon Allen. So Oscar, I think Brandon Allen will get the contract, and then I think they draft a guy. I think that's how they address the quarterback position. All right. Bird says Penix Jr., the next 49er. This will be a dream come true, but this ain't happening, Captain. There's a team that's gonna draft Penix. I would love a left-handed quarterback. Ooh, just gave me a quickening on how a left-handed quarterback, a former 49er, Hall of Fame MVP, former Super Bowl champion, left-handed quarterback came in. Penix Jr. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. All right, let's get to this right tackle. So, shout out to my Uncle Salty on yesterday's episode of No Harm, No Foul. He threw this name at me, and what was happening was, I think I figured it out, Uncle Salty. When you go back and watch this, I wanted to apologize, but I figured it out. The franchise tagging hadn't stopped, and so I don't think that Spot Rack knew who was going to be franchise tagged, so they kept certain names off their free agency list. All right, I don't know why they did that, but that's what the list that I was using was Spotrac. So they didn't have this particular tackle, and so in the free agent category. But I wanted to talk about Mike Onwenu, tackle for the New England Patriots. Now he wears number 71, so that's going to have to change. But at the end of the day, he was drafted in 2020. He was a 6th-round pick, and he played. Here's the cool thing: he played guard and he could play tackle. He was a guard coming out. He moved up to the tackle position. He played both last year for the New England Patriots. He played 850 snaps. I did want to point that out. He took 194 his snaps at the right guard position, but most of it was at the right tackle. Now, look, if I'm upgrading a position on that offensive line, there's 2 pieces that I'm trying to upgrade. We're gonna start with this tackle and then we'll address probably the center at some point if we feel like we got the bread. Now, again, this comes down to what happens with the San Francisco 49ers and how they restructure contracts. I think there'll be 2 players that are going to get restructured, Fred Warner, and as far as extensions, possibly Mooney Ward might get an extension because they really like him. John Lynch really loves Travarius Mooney Ward. So if he's extended, that's cool. That's going to free up some money right now on this cap, the current cap, 2024. And then his factors won't kick into a couple of years from now. So that might be something good or something to pay attention to as far as extensions, as well as Brandon Aiyuk's extensions. So I'm thinking of 2 extensions and maybe 2 restructures for the San Francisco 49ers, maybe even 3 restructures, but we'll see how that pans out. But that's going to free up money for the 49ers to address. And so I'm looking at Mike Onwenu, and I'm saying to myself, look, this dude gave up 23 pressures last year. He played in just about every game. He only gave up 3 sacks, 2 hits, 18 hurries on that right side. I'm not even going to compare him. Yes, I am. What kind of show would I be if I didn't compare him? I want you guys to understand how much of an upgrade this will be, okay? So my apologies. And I'm going to get the comparison going right now. Good in run blocking, but you want somebody that can protect the quarterback out there on that edge. All right. So how many pressures did I say? 23? I got like 50 screens open. How many pressures did I say? He gave up 23 pressures, 3 sacks, 2 hits, 18 hurries. Okay. Y'all ready for this? All right, here we go. Colton McKivitz, starting right tackle for the San Francisco 49ers. Gave up 59 pressures. 59 pressures. That's 10 more than our team name. 59, 9 sacks, 6 hits, 4 hurries. Now, you know what? That's not fair. So that was including the playoffs as well as the Super Bowl. But you know what? Let's take out the postseason. Let's just do regular season. Let's just keep it a buck. 47 pressures, 9 sacks, 4 hits. The sacks didn't change. So you can give him any sacks in the playoffs. All right, Colton McKivitz got better in the playoffs. 9 sacks, 4 hits, 34 hurries, a total of 47 pressures. I would say that it will be worth the money. As far as the current cap space, let me get that for you, dog. Let me get that for you, dog. Team salary cap. All right. So according to Spotrac, the 49ers are currently in the hole. They actually owe money. They're in the negative of $3,435,000. All right. So that's for their top 51. But for all their cap space, negative $7 million. All right, negative $7.5 million. You might as well just round it up. But again, like I said, there's probably going to be some restructuring. There could be a restructure. It could be a restructure to Deebo. Nobody's even talking about Deebo's money. There could be a restructure to Deebo because he's going to make $28 million. This will let you know if they plan to keep him down the road. Okay, so you got Deebo, you got Eric Armstead, you got Fred Warner, Mooney Ward. I think will get an extension. They might even restructure Javon Hargrave's money because he didn't perform well. He didn't perform the way that the 49ers thought. So there's possibilities, and they got the out. They might not touch Hargrave because I believe they have an out in his contract. So they might leave him alone. But we'll see. Look, there's a lot of stuff that can go down for the San Francisco 49ers to free up money. You know what I'm saying? All right, so here we go. So right tackle, Mike Owenwu, tackle from the Patriots, who's officially now a free agent. He wasn't franchise tagged. They went with the transition tag on Kyle Duggar, and so he's going to be set to test the market. That means unrestricted, too. I want you guys to understand that. Unrestricted free agents. That means that the team doesn't own their rights and they can go and surf and search as much as they want so they find the right deal. Michael Winwell will be an upgrade over Colton McKivitz. The second area that I think that they need to address, second area, in my opinion, and I'll just do these two areas. Actually, I'll do this area. I'll do one offense. I'll do one defense. We'll break it down. I want to open up the show to you guys. Derek Barnett is a free agent from the Houston Texans. I'm sorry, if I had to pick between Chase Young and Derek Barnett on the edge, give me Derek Barnett on the edge, because now I'm going to get a speed rusher on the outside that can get to the quarterback. That's a splash. Steve-O, that's a splash. Listen, give me Derek Barnett and Mike Owenwu, and I will say that this free agency, see, Ariel? See, Ariel? This is where you start, this is when I can tell you ain't put down, you know what I'm saying? You still tripping. As much as I want this dude here or find a way to get Brian Burns here, I just don't think the Niners can. This is a belly flop. Where my man Boss at? This is a belly flop. Belly flop from Ariel. Daniil Hunter, that's a belly flop. I don't think the Niners gonna be belly flopping. They don't got the bread. They don't got the bread. I would like it too. I tell you what, I want to know who you guys think that the 49ers should go out there and address in free agency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the chat, man. Let's just have some fun. And I apologize if I took too long, but thank y'all so much for rocking with your boy Breezy, man, on this Wednesday, man. Here's the link right there, man. Click on that joint, man. All right? Please click on that joint. Let's have some fun. We splashing, we belly flopping, or are we going to do a little, a little tweaky, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think we going to do. I would love to hear from you guys, all right? So let me know, guys. Tell me what you're doing. What we doing? Click on that link, all right? If y'all don't join, I'll just keep going. I got a whole show prep, man. I'm like a school teacher, right? So edge rusher Derek Barnett would be a guy that I think that the 49ers could get. He had 18 pressures when he got to Houston. They did not play him in Philly. That's why he wanted to be gone. All right? He wanted to be gone, all right? So look, I'm saying, 18 pressures, 3 sacks, 9 hits, 6 hurries. He had 10 tackles. He only missed 2, 13 for a loss. Woo wee, baby. I say get this dude in here, especially if I think he's an upgrade. I think he's an upgrade over Chase Young. I think he fits this defense like Chase Young, but I really would like to see Chase Young back. Okay, I really would like to see Chase Young back. I would like to see him in a full season, full red and gold, ready to go, betting on himself. Bang, bang, bada boom, bang. All right, bang, bang, bada boom, bang. So that would be my edge rusher by choice. There's a cornerback that was just made available. Darius Williams from the Jacksonville Jaguars was just made available. You know what I'm saying? Listen. This dude was like second to Tre'Verius Mooney-Warren and locking down guys, man. Not allowing guys to catch passes. We can lock him up, sign him, have 2 locks, draft a dude, you dig? And the Yamador Lenore will immediately move to the slot. This would be dope. Now the Niners will definitely shore up their secondary. So Darius Williams, man, if I'm the 49ers, I'm making the call. Or whatnot. Now, if you guys aren't coming on the show, no problem. I'm hearing that Trey Lance is live with Aiyuk. I'm sure everybody wants to go check that out on the Instagram. So we can go ahead and end the show. You know what I mean? Because I do want to kind of like check it out as well. But they all bums. No way, Jose. No way. They not all bums. He says Grinner had 12 and a half sacks, over 50 total tackles. Listen, dude. We could bring this dude in, right? right? And then he just emancipates. You talk about Jonathan Grenard from Texans. There's the person that from the Texans that I want, but that we talked about Derek Barnett. I'm thinking of look, we'll see what happens. They got 2 defensive ends that are free agents or whatnot. I do want to continue to address the offensive line because there are 2 players from the Miami Dolphins that I think the 49ers need to go out there and get. Robert Hunt, their guard, and their center, Connor Williams, okay? We need to go out there and get. Connor Williams is 26 years old, going on 27. Robert Hunt is 27 and a half years old, going on 28. It would be amazing if they go out there and get these 2 dudes that run what? Zone, scheme, running. Why? How I know? How I know that? Because they play for Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel was with the San Francisco 49ers. I say these guys are free agents, and here we go. I got to do the comparison. I've got to do the comparison. It's only right that I do the comparison. Bear with me. Let me get my man. I hate to do this to him. Who should I look up? John Feliciano as the guard? Let's do it. John Feliciano as guard. He played a lot of guard for the Niners. Oh, sugar snaps. He played both sides. So let's look him up. John Feliciano gave up a total of 15 pressures, 0 sacks, 2 hits, 13 hurries. Robert Hunt gave up a total of 5 pressures, 1 sack, 1 hit, 3 hurries. I swear to goodness they played the same amount of games too. Now that I'm looking at it, I think this would be an upgrade if they don't bring back a guy like John Feliciano. If they don't bring back Feliciano, Robert Hunt, right guard from the Miami Dolphins. I gotta look up my man Connor as far as center, and then I gotta look up our center in Jake Brendel, and I guarantee you there's going to be some differences there. All right. So look, Jake Brendel for the San Francisco 49ers in 2023 gave up a total of 29 pressures. 24 of them were hurries, 3 were hits, 2 were sacks, 571 snaps. Connor Williams, a little less snaps, 497 snaps, but he only gave up 6 pressures, 1 sack, 1 hit, 4 hurries. Now, I know the conversation is, well, why will the San Francisco 49ers, why the upgrade at the center position? Well, if you guys know about Kyle Shanahan and his offense and the way that they like to really set their offense up is really based around the center. I mean, you get your one tackle that you're willing to pay the money to. That's your left tackle. So they got Trent Williams, right? And then you kind of get you want the center to be set in stone. I think the 49ers have a makeshift center at this point. I just think these are areas that they can improve in and can get better in. And if the 49ers can get better at the center position, the run game gets better. If the run game gets better, the passing game is going to get better because now you have a center that can call out the protection, slide the protection to the right, slide the protection to the left. You have a center that can help enable the quarterback to just be a little bit better, especially in the pre-snap of the play, right? And that's what I think that the San Francisco 49ers, they've been lacking. Now, we've been to the Super Bowl without the big name center. I mean, we had Alex Mack. We didn't make the Super Bowl, but we did. Justin School is a free agent. Do we bring him back? There's ways that the Niners, I feel like, can improve in free agency, but there's 2 positions. I would go and look at that center position, and I would go and look at the tackle position for the offensive line. As far as the defense, you can upgrade on the edge. I don't think we do it in every category. I'm just giving you options. What's going on, Paul? You can upgrade on the edge, but there's a cornerback, Darius Williams, that is free. Like, why are we not trying to bring him in? Now, Azeez Al-Shaair is the star, is the linebacker that I think the 49ers need to go after. The kid from Miami was released as well, but he's coming off of a hand injury. But Azeez Al-Shaair knows the system. And there's nobody else I want to come in here to play the weak side linebacker, the strong side linebacker, or middle linebacker at that point. He could play all 3 of them for the 49ers. The 49ers about to button up and just sign this man and give him a deal. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be righteous. You bring him back home, you drafted him, you get him back in here, and you let let him get back to his style of playing. He just knows the system. And I'm going to throw this last name out before we leave. Look, I'm all for our safeties. I'm all for the progression of Jair Brown. I'm all for the recovery of Talanoa Hufanga. And then after that, that's it. I think the San Francisco 49ers need to go out there and get them a safety. Now, do they bring back Tashawn Gibson? He's 33. That's one thing. Or they can go out there and get a guy like Jeremy Chin, who had a down season in Carolina, but we all know who Jeremy Chin is. He's not declining. He just had a down season. Everybody in Carolina had a down season. All right. You can go and get a guy like Jeremy Chin. You could probably get him on a 1 or 2 year deal. And now you bringing in not a super duper older veteran, but a younger veteran that might not run out of gas at times. He can play in the box. You can run a big nickel with him. He's 6'3", 220. You get where I'm going with this? Jeremy Chin is available as a free agent. Nobody's talking about Jeremy Chin. I think that might be a good piece that they might want to try to bring in just to make that. We had Logan Ryan. We had Tashawn Gibson. These are older veterans. Why not bring in a younger veteran? Why not bring in a younger veteran? My brother Oscar has said something really smart too. He says, definitely look at the Jets, Dolphins, and Texans because they all run the same system. Definitely look at the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Texans. All right. That's a good point. So if you guys are out there paying attention to free agency, look to see what those 3 teams release because those 3 teams are of the 49ers. Look at those players that they release, especially if you're trying to upgrade your offensive line. Look at what's going on. The Niners are in contention of fixing that offensive line. They could do so. We got one caller we're going to get on here, and then we're going to dip on out. My boy Dre's in the background, baby. What's going on, baby?
Yo, Breeze, what's going on, my guy? How you doing,
I'm
brother?
doing good, fam. How you feeling?
Man, God is good, man. God is
All the
very
time.
good.
All the time.
Extremely. So I got 2 free agents.
Okay.
And these are the only 2 that I would want to see us get. Everybody else, I feel like we can draft, and this is a really deep draft year. So the guy that I want to get is an interior defensive lineman. We have a lot of history with this guy. He played for the Atlanta Falcons last year, and that's Calais Campbell. He's a monster. He's a huge guy that will basically you will have to dedicate two offensive linemen to him anytime he lines up, right? So that would allow guys like Eric Armstead, or if you got what's the other guy that we got from Philadelphia?
Javon Hargrave.
Yeah, Javon Hargrave. You can allow those guys to get loose because Calais, he can control the line of scrimmage, whether it's run downs or pass downs. And also, I feel like bringing Chase Young back would be a good addition also. So I wouldn't get any defensive end edge guys. I would just bring Chase Young back and get a guy like Calais Campbell who can demand 2 guys from the offensive line anytime he lines up, and then it'll free up the rest of the defensive line so they can go hunt.
Love that selection. Can I throw a name out there? I just want to get your thoughts on this name.
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox is a free agent, bro. He only 36 years old. He'll be playing.
Yeah.
You compare him back up with Javon Hargrave. This dude can rush the passer, and he also is going to command attention from the offensive line. Just curious to know your thoughts on Fletcher Cox.
After he did what he did when we lost the Super Bowl to Deebo, I know you saw that tweet. I couldn't see that guy in our locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
we spanked you guys. Basically your best offensive lineman, who was a Hall of Famer, came out and said, yeah, the 49ers broke us. We caused Kelsey to retire. I mean, we just did a number on you guys, and for him to come out and say what he said and say, eat my, what, and all of that stuff that he said about Deebo, I just couldn't see that guy in our locker room. I know it's, what I'm saying? It would just be weird. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Be hella weird.
It'd be weird. Shoot, I ain't going front. I thought about bringing him. I thought about going to get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I'm all about the smoke. I want to see if these guys make up to break up. Right? You get them on the same team, they start singing a different story, bro. But listen, cats be wanting to win. So
yeah,
you know,
that's true.
I'm
That's
just
true.
saying.
I mean, I guess I'm just putting my personal feelings into it. Not,
Oh
I guess
no,
you got to take your personal feelings out when it comes to business. I mean, Fletcher Cox is a Hall of Famer, bro. You know what I'm saying? So,
I
but
can't believe
at the
he's
same
available.
time, yeah, it's crazy. But at the same time, after that exchange that he had with Debo and some of our fan base, it was just kind of, I
It
don't
was
know, it would
crazy
throw me off a little bit. Yeah.
for sure.
And for a linebacker, this is a guy that can play sideline to sideline. He was one of the best linebackers in the league for about 3 years. And we were actually in the midst of trying to sign this guy, but he ended up going with the wrong team, and that was the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is Shaq Leonard. He's an
Oh
unrestricted free
yeah,
agent, bro.
yeah.
He's an
He's a free
unrestricted
agent.
free agent. He's only 28 years old. He's
He's gonna
still
cost
young.
some money though.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's the splash though. That would be the splash. Cause I feel like
he's already made his money though. Do you really think he wants to like continue to make the bread, or do you think because he went to Philadelphia last year, his contract terms was 1.5 million. So I
mhm,
figure we could pay him like 5.5 million, 6 million, and he'd come because he's made his money.
that's
He's made
true.
his money. You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
So, and I don't think that his market is as big as it was because when they put him up for trade, what happened?
Hmm.
Nobody traded for him. He got released, and then he had to sign with a team. Nobody was going to pick up that contract. His contract, I think he was scheduled to make like 16 million. Nobody's going to pay you that, Shaq. Why don't you come on over here, make this
Get you a
5 to 6
championship.
million?
Yeah.
Yeah, try to go for the ring. You know what I'm saying? Play with Kyle Shanahan. We got a fresh new defensive coordinator. We got a new guy in the building who is a defensive guru. He just wasn't good as a defensive coach. And then we got one of the best linebackers of our era, KJ Wright. He's going to be one of your new linebacker coaches. You
Good
know what I'm
point.
saying? Like, so I think with those two guys, I would definitely sign those two guys. Try to bring back Chase Young, and then I would shore up the rest of our team with draft picks, man, because this draft is extremely deep.
I agree, man. You can address this draft at just about every position. I think cats are gonna get pushed back because it's gonna be runs on certain positions early. You're gonna see
Bro,
first round picks in the third round. You'll be like, what in the heck? Watch how deep this draft goes.
hey, bro,
The Niners are sitting with picks, man. You think we trade up in the draft, or you think they just kind of let the board fall to them?
we got 11 picks, bro. We're gonna trade up. We're gonna trade up. I think we're gonna trade up. We're gonna trade up. I think we end up with 9 picks total,
Okay.
and two of those picks, like, because we have two in the third, we have two in the fourth. So it's just like they're gonna use like two of those picks, bro, so we could trade up and get somebody that we really want. So I believe that we're gonna end up with 9 total picks instead of the 11 that we have. But even if we end up with the 11, I don't care because our best picks come between the fifth and seventh round.
They did come between the fifth and
Always,
seventh round. They did.
always, bro.
You're right, but Adam Peters isn't here.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
So you're
Damn.
right. You're right, but we missing the fifth rounder picker. He done went to Washington. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But
Damn.
you're right. We do. We hit on the fifth round pitch, the money round for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And bro, before we leave, I got one question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is your reasoning for why we lost so many coaches in one year? I mean, Anthony Lynn, I mean, he's a great defensive minded coach. Wasn't so good he had the talent as a head coach, but Derwin James just kept on getting injured and he just had,
Bad breaks, right?
but bad breaks, extremely bad breaks. So, but I thought that he was going to replace, as I thought he was going to be the perfect candidate for, our defensive coordinator position. And then he just left and kind of got demoted. So, I'm wondering, like, why do you think so many guys left in one year?
I mean, like, opportunities. Number one,
Yeah,
it could be some I would say opportunities in a good way and opportunities like in a negative way. Like if I demoted you and you felt some type of way, I can understand why you would want to leave because I could be hindering you, right? Like you could be,
right,
and so like I need to go somewhere where I can grow. It's
right,
weird to see that people that come to usually the people that leave the San Francisco 49ers organization as a coach is because they're growing. I thought
right,
Anthony Lynn was still with the team. I thought he went for an interview, but I thought he was still an assistant coach. I could be wrong, but I thought he was still an assistant coach and then put to the
Yeah.
running backs. They let him go. I missed that.
Anthony Lynn. Hold on, I'm gonna look. I can't remember exactly.
I remember him wanting to do that, but other than that, everybody wants the coaches from the San Francisco 49ers. So they want a piece of whatever Kyle Shanahan instilled into that coach, right? So that's how you
Yeah.
look at it. And so that's why these guys, the opportunity knocks and they're going to come up. Yeah, they said Lynch is gone. And that's Lynn is gone. And that's fine. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah, so like it was just crazy to see that we lost so many guys, a special teams coordinator, Anthony Lynn, our defensive coordinator, which we didn't lose, he got fired, but it was just like a lot of coaches and a lot of staff left in 1 year, and it was just like, okay, what's happening behind the scenes? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there,
it
you
could
know what I'm saying?
it could just be simple, like I said, it could be opportunities for them to grow, or they felt like they were being micromanaged. That's the word I like to use all of a sudden.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some people can't be they just don't
They just don't do it.
they
Yeah,
can't. I can't be micromanaged. That's probably I
me
could probably
neither.
never work for a big company. I can't have you
Right.
can't tell me to do my job and then you telling me how to do my job.
My job, exactly. Yeah, and then it kind of makes sense because he went to the Commanders. So,
Okay.
of
Okay,
course,
so I missed
of
that.
course,
My
Peters is
apologies.
going. Yeah, of course, Peters is going
Absolutely.
to bring some guys with him. That's just how it always
Absolutely.
works.
And that's
Yep.
how it
So,
works, bro. That's how it
yeah,
works.
yeah.
Hey
But
man,
yeah, man.
appreciate
Much
you, bro.
love to you, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man.
You took that on the chin with your platform being stolen, and you just came back better. Like most people would have quit, bro. So
Thank you.
much
I,
love, and much blessings to you and your family, bro. I
same to
appreciate
you
you,
and
bro.
yours, bro. Thank you so much for
Most
calling in.
definitely,
Peace.
no doubt.
All right, guys, what a great show, man. I thank y'all for tuning in, man. I know you guys, if you wanted to call in, you could still click on the link if you didn't want to be seen and just use your audio, right? You just use the audio. But listen, I appreciate Dre. Thank you so much for dialing in, man. It's good to hear you. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. Shout out to everybody out there. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, which I don't think I did. All right. But listen, we'll be back Friday. Hopefully I'll get Tony up in here. We'll talk. We'll sit down. We'll break down some things. I'll be back 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No harm, no foul. We're going to talk more and dig a little bit deeper into the free agents that are available and the ones that are particularly probably come and fit this regime. All right. Love y'all, man. Y'all stay up. Stay faithful. Like my man Brock Purdy said. What Brock Purdy say? Hold on, let me get it out. Keep the faith. We out, y'all. Peace.
I be sipping gold bar, whiskey on the rocks, and a 24 karat gold on a watch. My 7-1 Chevy be tipping non-stop, sounding like Trent Williams on the block. So you know we can't stop, we be banging through your speakers. WayneBreezie on the field or in the bleachers. You can tune into my show and I'm a teacher. WayneBreezie, the 4-9 preacher.